all this. Look, I be riding through my old hood, but I'm in my new hood. Same old attitude, but I do new shit. They say they gon' rob me.
Noah Lyles just made a choice that could change track and field forever. Let me explain what happened. Right now, there's a battle going on in track and field. Two leagues are fighting for the future of the sport. One of them is winning big, the other one is falling apart. And Noah Lyles just picked a side. The first league is called Grand Slam Track. It was started by Michael Johnson, one of the greatest runners of all time. Johnson announced this league with $30 million from big investors. He wanted to give athletes a chance to make good money all year long, not just at the World Championships. The idea sounded amazing. 4 big events in different cities, big prize money, a chance to make track and field as popular as the NBA or NFL. Noah Lyles heard about it. Johnson wanted him to join, but Lyles said no. He had questions, big questions. In March, Lyles talked about it publicly. He said, "I would love nothing more than for this to be successful, because if it does, the amount of benefits it would provide, this could be a way for athletes to not have to only rely on world championships." But then he said something else, something important. He said, "Money is not the thing that's going to drive me every time. Who are your outside sponsors? Who are your non-track and field sponsors? I haven't even heard a block sponsor." That was a problem, a big problem. Lyles kept saying the same thing in interviews and podcasts. If Grand Slam Track wanted to succeed, it needed big sponsors, big names, big stars. Without those things, the league couldn't offer real value to athletes. That's why he didn't sign up. Lyles also said he needed to see a TV deal. He told ESPN, "The problem with our sport right now is we have great performances, but nobody is able to see it." Turns out, Lyles was right, really right. Grand Slam Track held 3 events: Kingston, Miami, and Philadelphia. Then they were supposed to have a big finale in Los Angeles. That event got canceled. The whole thing fell apart. Why? Money problems. Big money problems. The league now owes $19 million, $11 million to athletes who never got paid, $8 million to vendors. Some winners from the first event still haven't seen their prize money. A big investor pulled out after the first event, just walked away with millions of dollars. The league couldn't pay anyone. Stadium attendance was low, not many people watched on TV. Costs kept going up. Everything crashed. In June, things got really bad. Michael Johnson had to cut staff salaries by 15%. Athletes started talking to lawyers. Their agents said patience was running out. Johnson sent a message to investors saying, "Today is the beginning of Grand Slam Track's reboot. We apologize for the frustrations and hardships caused by the payment delays." In September, some investors gave emergency money to help, about 8 figures, which means at least $10 million. That money paid about half of what the league owed to athletes. But that still leaves half unpaid, and the vendors still haven't been paid at all. The 2026 season? On hold. Michael Johnson admitted the league is struggling. Nobody knows if Grand Slam Track will survive. Now let's talk about the other league, the one that's winning. It's called Athlos. It was started by Alexis Ohanian. You might know him as the guy who created Reddit. He's also married to Serena Williams. But here's something cool about Ohanian. He grew up only watching men's football. His dad would change the channel if women's sports came on TV. Now he's investing millions into women's track and field. Why? Because the numbers showed him something amazing. Female track stars have huge followings on social media. Sha'Carri Richardson has 4 million Instagram followers. Alicia Schmidt has 5.5 million. You know how many Noah Lyles has? Only 1.6 million. The world's fastest man has fewer followers than female sprinters. That told Ohanian everything he needed to know. Ohanian said, "For me, as a social media guy, I didn't care what the TV ratings of these sports were. I was looking on the free market of the internet, where Instagram is the biggest market for attention." He saw what Grand Slam Track missed. Track stars can go viral in 45 seconds. A great race is perfect for social media. But athletes disappear after the Olympics. They vanish for 4 years. Athlos wants to change that. The first Athlos event happened in September 2024. They only had 5 months to plan it. But they brought in 35 of the world's best female athletes. They got Megan Thee Stallion to perform. Over 3 million people watched. The event was a huge success. For the second event in October 2025, they went even bigger, way bigger. They held a long jump competition in Times Square, right in the middle of New York City, in front of the Sephora and Disney stores. Tara Davis-Woodhall won with a jump of 6.81 meters. She said, "I've been coming to New York since I was 16 years old, and the first time I ever stepped in Times Square, I was like, I want my face on the billboards. To have a full circle moment of when I was just a kid dreaming of this moment, it's pretty surreal and kind of emotional. The next day, they moved to Icon Stadium for 7 events. Olympic champions competed. Faith Kipyegon, Marilady Paulino, Keely Hodgkinson, and Masai Russell all raced. The winner got $60,000. Sixth place still got $2,500. And here's the best part. The money went into their bank accounts instantly through Cash App. No waiting. No excuses, just instant payment. For breaking a world record, that's an extra $250,000. They also gave 10% of all revenue directly to the athletes. They had DJs playing music between races, Ciara performed after the events, Serena Williams showed up to honor the retiring Shelly Ann Fraser-Price. The whole thing was a spectacle. Professional and entertaining at the same time. And guess who showed up? Noah Lyles. On October 9th, Lyles went to the Times Square long jump event with his fiancée, Junelle Bromfield. Athlos posted a video of him on Instagram, and Lyles reshared it on his own Instagram story. That's a public endorsement. That's choosing a side. Remember, this happened while Grand Slam track was drowning in $19 million of debt, while athletes from Grand Slam track were still waiting to get paid, while the whole league was falling apart. Lyles' choice sent a message. A loud message. Last year, at the first Athlos event, Lyles had already shown support. He posted on Twitter saying, "I love these introductions at Athlos. I want to hear even more energy when announcing these women. Forget trying to sound professional, let's get loud and extra." He saw what Athlos was doing differently. They told stories about each athlete before their race. They made it entertaining. They made it exciting. Now, Ohanian is expanding even more. In 2026, Athlos is becoming a team-based league, like Formula One but for track and field. Sha'Carri Richardson, Tara Davis-Woodhall, and Gabby Thomas are becoming advisor owners. Athletes will have ownership in the league. They'll help make decisions. By the 2028 Olympics in Los Angeles, Ohanian wants events across the country, maybe around the world. He said, "There's no finish line in this race, it's just relentless improvement and execution." For Grand Slam track to survive, it needs more than money. It needs to fix its culture. It needs to rebuild trust. Athletes need to believe in it again. Ohanian said, "I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I hope those athletes get paid. I hope there is a second act for Grand Slam, especially for those athletes and for all those folks who are working on it. But he's focused on building Athlos, not saving Grand Slam track." So what does Noah Lyles' choice really mean? It means the world's fastest man looked at both leagues and made a decision. He saw one league with big promises that couldn't deliver. He saw another league that started small but kept every promise. One league couldn't pay its athletes. The other league put money in their accounts instantly. One league canceled events. The other league held a competition in Times Square.
Open him up, so let the legs loose and let the kid run. He is absolutely gone. He is Gout of this world. 20.07. That is not human. And let's wait for the swing. Let's wait for the adjustment.
The clock was about to display numbers nobody expected. Peter Norman's record stood for 56 years. Usain Bolt's mark lasted 21 years. Both were about to fall. Then, a teenager named Gout Gout stepped on the track in Brisbane. What happened at the Queensland Sport and Athletics Centre made the whole world pay attention. Gout Gout ran 20.04 seconds in the 200-meter final at the 2024 Australian All-Schools Championships. The performance shattered Australian and Oceanian records while destroying Usain Bolt's world age 16 best of 20.13 seconds from 2003. At just 16 years old, the Queensland teenager became the second fastest under 1.8 runner in history. Only one under 1.8 mark stands ahead of Gout on the world list, American Arion Knighton's 19.84. With his breakthrough, the Australian now sits joint 6th on the global under 2.0 rankings, remarkable for a 6-year-old competing against athletes up to 4 years older when they set their times. These are adult times and me, just a kid, I'm running them. It's going to be a great future for sure, Gout said after erasing the longest-standing sprint record in Australian history. That mark belonged to Peter Norman, whose 20.06 at the 1,968 Mexico City Olympics earned silver in one of the most iconic races ever. Norman's record stood firm for more than 5 decades, resisting every Australian challenger until Gout toppled it at 16. His two-day showcase began with the 100 meters. In the heats, Gout sped to a 10.04 with a plus 3.4 meters per second wind, the fourth fastest under 1:8 performance ever, and the fifth fastest by any Australian in all conditions. He then won the final in 10.17 with a legal plus 0.9 meters per second breeze, breaking the national under 1:8 record previously held by Sebastian Sultana. The double gold announced a new force on the global stage. "I have always done what I said I will do," Gout said. "If I said something, it's on my mind, and I am pursuing it until I do it." Born the 29th of December 2007 in Ipswich, Queensland, Gout is one of 7 children of Monica and Bona, Dinka refugees from South Sudan who arrived in Australia in 2005. The family name, originally romanized as Gwat or Gwat, was misspelled as Gout during transliteration in Egypt. It's pronounced to rhyme with pout.
His name is Gout. It's supposed to be G-U-O-T. When I see people call Gout Gout, I'm not really happy for it.
Bona
Gout
Gout
Gout's
has
father
voiced interest in restoring the original spelling to avoid confusion with the disease. Gout attends Ipswich Grammar School and first excelled in soccer before committing fully to track, a choice that altered his path. His rise accelerated in 2025. On March 16 at the Queensland State Championships, he blasted a wind-assisted 19.9, 8 plus 3.6, to win the under 2:0 200 meters, becoming the first Australian to break 20 seconds in any conditions. He admitted the start was shaky and motivation lagged until the bend. Feeling the tailwind, he drove home and celebrated when the clock rounded down under 20. Earlier that day, he ran a legal 20.05, plus 1.2, in the heats, the fastest time in the world that year across all ages, surpassing Zimbabwe's Makanakaisha Charamba, 20.13. April delivered another leap. At the Australian Athletics Championships in Perth on April 13, Gout twice stopped the clock at 9.99 inches, the 100 meters first with plus 3.5 and then plus 2.6 wind before winning the 200 meters senior title in 19.84. Though wind-assisted, the performances secured his selection for the 2025 World Championships in Tokyo. His European debut on June 24 at the Golden Spike in Ostrava proved he could do it legally too, a 20.02 with zero wind, an Ohanian record that bettered his 20.04 from December. The time also outpaced Usain Bolt's first Ostrava appearance, 20.2, 8 inches 2006. "I don't feel any pressure," Gout said. "As soon as I step on the track, it's just me and what I've got to do, my favorite thing." On the 17th of September 2025, at Tokyo's National Stadium, the 17-year-old made his senior Worlds debut, placing third in his 200 meters heat in 20.23 behind Olympic champion Lyles Tobogo and defending world champion Noah Lyles, advancing to the semifinals and ranking 12th overall. He admitted to butterflies and a botched start, though his reaction time 0.144 was the best in the heat. The next day, racing in wet conditions, he finished fourth in his semifinal in 20.36, missing the final on place and time but gaining invaluable experience. "It was a great race," he told Australia's Channel 9. "I looked back at what I did in the heat and tried to fix it for the semifinal, and that's exactly what I did." Even that semifinal bettered Bolt's 2005 Worlds debut, 20.68, eliminated in the heats. By 17, Gout had not only rewritten Australian sprint history, but also placed himself on a trajectory that invites comparisons with the sport's greatest, while reminding everyone he's still just getting started. Usain Bolt himself acknowledged the Australian teenager, posting on social media a photo with Gout alongside the caption, "He looks like young me." The comparison stems from their similar tall, slim physiques and upright running styles. Obviously, in the moment, it feels great because everyone wants to be compared to Usain. But at times, it does get a bit overwhelming, Gout admitted. "Now that I've grown up and matured, my circle really helps me stay level. I'm just trying to make a name for myself." World Athletics President Sebastian Coe praised his composure and promise. He is the real deal, but the challenge over the next 3 to 4 years is to take his talent into the seniors, Coe told Sky Sports. "He's very level-headed and has good man management." From age 13 to 17, Gout's rise has been rapid. His 200-meter best fell from 22.68 seconds in 2021 to 20.02 inches 2025, signaling elite potential. Standing 1.83 meters tall, he plans to emphasize the 100 meters as he develops physically, though the 200 remains his passion. "I like the 200 more," he said. "The 100 feels too short. I love reaching top speed and holding it." The 2032 Brisbane Olympics will take place less than an hour from his hometown of Ipswich. Gout will be 24, perfect age for a sprinter's prime. "I think God made my parents follow that path and end up in Queensland," he said. "There was a choice between Canada and Australia, and I think it was God's will they came here." Athletic talent runs deep in his family. His mother, Nikiruka, told the BBC she sensed his ability before birth. "When I was pregnant, he kept on kicking." Both parents represented Nigeria at the 2002 Commonwealth Games. Former Olympian Jane Fleming has compared Gout's frame and stride to Usain Bolt's, while Olympic champion Noah Lyles congratulated him online after his 10.04-second 100 meters in 2024. Gout later trained with Lyles and coach Lance Brahman in Florida. At 17, he's grounded, gifted, and fast, becoming Australia's next global sprint star. Gout trained with Lyles and his coach Lance Brahman in Florida. "I just learned to be myself and follow my processes," Gout said after the training camp. The experience with Olympic and world champions provided valuable insight into elite-level preparation. At just 17, Gout already holds the Ohanian 200-meter record at 20.02 seconds and Australian under 1:8 records in both the 100 meters, 10.17, and 200 meters, 20.04. His wind-assisted bests, 9.99 and 19.84, show his extraordinary speed. At 16, he claimed silver in the 200 meters at the 2024 World U20 Championships, proving he could challenge the world's best juniors. His races have gone viral, earning him the nickname Future of 200 meters. Despite the rising attention and pressure, Gout remains calm and grounded. "There is always pressure, but I am just running," he says. Focused on performance over hype, the Australian sprint prodigy continues to break barriers and rewrite history. At 17, his times already rank among the fastest ever recorded by a junior sprinter, and his next chapter is only beginning.
Oh, here, Gout Gout. He's already got the stagger, so he moves right on past Chase Grant, and now we really start to open him up. So let the legs loose and let the kid run. He is absolutely gone. He is Gout of this world. 20.07.
A 17-year-old Australian walked onto the track for his first major championship. The world compared him to Usain Bolt. The pressure was unbearable. No one knew if he'd rise or crumble. What happened next left 50,000 fans frozen in disbelief. Gout Gout advanced to the 200-meter semifinals at the 2025 World Athletics Championships, finishing third in his heat with a time of 20.23 seconds. The Queensland teenager competed against Olympic champion Lyles Tobogo and survived his highly anticipated senior debut on the global stage. When Bolt made his major debut, the Jamaican legend did not make it out of the heats. Gout topped him there, becoming the youngest athlete ever to compete in the 200 meters at a World Championships. The achievement alone exceeded what Bolt managed at the same age. He is the GOAT. "I just got out to the semis, so it's definitely great to know that I'm up against the top 24 inches the world," Gout said after qualifying. "It's Usain Bolt. He's the athlete everyone looks up to, so I just gotta keep looking up to him and try to be like him." The journey to Tokyo began 7 months earlier on a sweltering December day in Brisbane. On the 7th of December 2024, at the Australian All-Schools Championships, Gout ran 20.04 seconds in the 200-meter final. The time shattered Peter Norman's Australian record of 20.06 seconds, which had stood since the 1968 Mexico City Olympics. It also destroyed Usain Bolt's world age 16 best of 20.13 seconds, set in 2003. "These are adult times, and me, just a kid, I'm running them. It's going to be a great future for sure," Gout said after breaking the longest-standing Australian record on the books. He now sat second on the world under 1:8 all-time list, behind only Arian Knighton's 19.84 seconds. Gout turned 17 at the end of December, making 2024 his final season as an under 1:8 athlete. The day before that historic 200-meter run, Gout won the 100-meter final in 10.17 seconds with a 0.9 meters per second wind reading, breaking the Australian under 1:8 record. He had clocked a wind-assisted 10.04 seconds in the heats with a 3.4 meters per second tailwind, the fourth fastest under 1:8 time in world history. 3 months later, on the 16th of March 2025, Gout became the first Australian ever to break the 20-second barrier in the 200 meters. At the Queensland State Championships, he stopped the clock at a wind-assisted 19.98 seconds with a 3.6 meters per second tailwind in the under 2:0 final. "I had an unsteady start, and to be honest, after that I didn't really feel like running," Gout said after the race. But it felt pretty good.